Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman. This is a video response to Venom Fang X's video, Jesus and Genesis. Apostatism did an excellent video on this, refuting Venom Fang X on a scholarly level, but what I want to do is refute it on a cultural level, because for all of history, Judaism has been fighting assimilation, and that's what this is. If Venom Fang X wanted a macro code, or whatever he's talking about, all he would need to do is take a Strong's Concordance with the Hebrew dictionary, cross out all the Hebrew words, write in Jesus, and then when he would look up the Hebrew word, it would be Jesus. Simple as that. This is a influx of evangelicalism's encroachment on Jewish literature. It's been going on since the writing of Matthew and earlier. And they did not bow down to Antiochus. And the Jews will not bow down to Christianity, no matter how much evangelicalism tries to use forced assimilation, especially with the literature. And more modern times, this sort of thing happened in Native American culture here in the U.S. You had the New Age movement coming on strong, where everybody ran around trying to be a Native American, practicing Native American religion, and it really put the tribes in a type of disillusionment, and they felt that their texts were being violated. And probably the prophet Joel is one of the texts that I kind of use to explain this on what's happening. And if you read that and you think about Christianity and the destructive force that it's had on Judaism, both culture, society, and religion, and the religious literature, Joel, the prophet Joel, nailed it on the head. And let's go there, and we'll read sections of that. We'll find out what this new testament and what this new idea of how to interpret the literature really means. And it's fine if you interpret the literature. It's made to be interpreted any way you want, but don't tell the Hebrews and the Jews that they were wrong. Use it for yourself, keep it to yourself and all your little buddies, but don't tell the original writers that they were wrong and they didn't know what they were talking about. So here's Joel 1. Listen to this, O elders, give ear, all inhabitants of the land. Has the like of this happened in your days, or in the days of your fathers? Tell your children about it, and let your children tell theirs, and their children, and the next generation. What the cutter has left, the locust has devoured. And what the locust has left, the grub has devoured. And what the grub has left, the hopper has devoured. Wake up, you drunkards, and weep. Wail, all you swillers of wine, for the new wine that is denied you. For a nation has invaded my land, vast beyond counting, with teeth like that, the teeth of a lion, with the fangs of a lion's breed. They have laid my vines waste and splintered my fig trees. They have stripped off the bark and thrown it away. Their runners have turned white. Lament like a maiden girt with sackcloth for the husband of her youth. Offering and libation have ceased from the house of the Lord. The priests must mourn who minister to the Lord. The country is ravaged. The ground must mourn, for the new grain is ravaged. The new wine is dried up. The new oil is failed. Farmers are dismayed, and the vine dressers wail over wheat and barley, for the crops of the field are lost. The vine is dried up, the fig tree withers, the pomegranate, palm, and apple, all the trees of the field are sere. Joy has dried up among men. Gird yourselves and lament, O priests. Wail, O ministers of the altar. Come, spend the night in sackcloth, O ministers of my God, for the offering and libations are withheld from the house of your God. Solemnize a feast, Proclaim an assembly, gather the elders, all the inhabitants of the land, in the house of the Lord your God, and cry out to the Lord. Alas for the day of the Lord is near. It shall come like havoc from Shaddai. For our food is cut off before your very eyes, and the joy and gladness from the house of our God. The seeds have shriveled under their clods, the granaries are desolate, the barns are in ruins, for the new grain has failed. How the beasts groan, the herds of the cattle are bewildered, because they have no pasture, and the flocks of sheep are dazed. To you, O Lord, I call, for fire has consumed the pastures in the wilderness, and a flame has devoured all the trees of the countryside. The very beasts of the field cry out to you, for the watercourses are dried up, and fire has consumed the pastures in the wilderness. And that, my friend, is what you get when you put Jesus in Genesis. Take care, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking